le conditionnel antérieur, the conditional perfect. So the conditional perfect is used to express a hypothetical situation in the past or a future time relative to a past action, and I'll explain what that means. It corresponds with the English I would have verbed. Just as the conditional is I would verb, the conditional perfect is I would have verbed. Yeah, so it's a step further back in the past. Thus, verbs form the conditional perfect by using the conditional tense of the verb avoir or être, followed by the past participle. So that's the conditional of the auxiliary plus the past participle. Just as the passé composé, which is the present perfect, has the present tense of the auxiliary plus the past participle, and the future perfect has the future tense of the auxiliary plus the past participle. The conditional perfect has the conditional of the auxiliary plus the past participle. So how do you form? You conjugate avoir or être in the conditional, and of course you need to know these. J'aurais, tu aurais, il aurait, nous aurions, vous auriez, ils auraient, and je serais, tu serais, il serait, nous serions, vous seriez, il serait. Then you add the past participle, and again these same rules apply as for any compound tense. So the past participles of regular er, ir, and re verbs are formed just as with the passé composé. Acheter would become j'aurais acheté, I would have bought. Finir, j'aurais fini, I would have finished. Vendre, j'aurais vendu, I would have sold. And the irregular past participles are also just the same. J'aurais eu, I would have had. And just as with the passé composé or any other compound tense, if the verb is conjugated with avoir, the past participle agrees with the preceding direct object. It doesn't agree with the subject, yeah? J'aurais vendu la maison, I would have sold the house. If you want to say I would have sold it, je l'aurais vendu. And you see you've got your preceding direct object, la maison, so you have to have an agreement. Nous aurions lavé nos chemises, we would have washed our shirts. Nous les aurions lavées, we would have washed them. Preceding direct object, feminine plural, feminine e, plural s. And again, just as with the passé composé or any other compound tense, some verbs, mainly those associated with movement, form the conditional perfect by using the present tense of the verb être followed by the past participle. That should actually read the conditional tense of the verb être followed by the past participle. And they're called intransitive verbs as they don't have a direct object. Let's just review what those verbs are. I've written down Palm in 5 trams, but again, if you use Dr. and Mrs. Van der Tram, that's absolutely fine. So the verbs are partir, arriver, rentrer, mourir, entrer, naître, descendu, venir, tomber, rester, aller, monter, sortir. Yeah? So most of these have regular looking past participles except mort from mourir, né from naître, and venu is a bit different from venir. And all the rest look pretty what we would expect, pretty much what we would expect. So just remember with these verbs, the Parlement 5 tram verbs, they take être, not avoir. So you'd need to have the conditional form of être for these verbs. So if the verb is conjugated with être, the past participle agrees with the subject unless the verb is reflexive. Elle serait allée, nous serions partis. We have to agree. It's agreeing with the subject, she's feminine, so we have an agreement. We would have left, we're plural, so we have an S. If the verb is reflexive, the past participle agrees with the preceding direct object. Elle se serait lavée. Se is a direct object. She would have washed herself. Yeah, so this is herself. That's the thing that would be washed. It's the direct object of the washing action. So that's why we have an agreement. La jambe qu'il se serait cassée. The leg that he would have broken. Is not the is not the direct object. La jambe is. Sorry, that should be se. Ce serait. This is not the direct object. This is the direct object. Yeah, la jambe. Okay. Elle se serait cassée la jambe. La jambe is a direct object. Yeah, so there is no agreement. Elle se serait cassée la jambe because she would have broken the leg to herself. So this is not a direct object, it's an indirect object, and this is the direct object here. And that's the conditionnel antérieur.